What's up, gamers? We're going to be doing a reaction video to this gentleman, AngryJoe. You can see the title of his video, EA Sports adding NFTs in Madden. Angry Rant.
EA Sports is now partnering with Nike
It's in the game.
to put what they are calling creatively and to bring creativity and self-expression to the forefront for fans as they connect, compete, and share their love for the sport.
I like how other Joe somehow knows exactly what they're talking about, and then AngryJoe looked at him like, "What are you worried about?"
Creations.
So putting in fucking shoes.
NFT.
They already have that. With the,
What? They're not saying NFT, but they're NFTs. So EA and Nike.
Madden is putting in NFTs.
EA Sports games. Yeah.
No.
I'm not. Square Enix is doing it. Ubisoft, who everyone thought was not going to be doing it, is apparently going to try their hand again. So, yeah, if you really think the big dog of microtransaction is somehow going to stay out of that fucking party, well, guess what, AngryJoe? You got another thing coming.
No, I will fucking go nuclear.
In future EA Sports titles, EA Sports and Nike plan to make select dot swoosh virtual creations available, allowing members and players unique new opportunities for self-expression and creativity through sport and style.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well,
Minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6.
No.
Look it
in
up.
what? In Madden?
What?
Yes.
Oh, I don't play Madden.
You're joking.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If they put in NFTs, you've gone too far. The second NFTs show up in Madden, too far! The line needs to be drawn somewhere! And that's where I fucking draw the line.
And that's where I have an issue. And I don't want people to think this is me dogging on AngryJoe. He's ultimately said in previous videos that, you know, call him out on his hypocrisy. Why should any of these game developers give a fuck about you, give a fuck about me, give a fuck about any of these three gentlemen? Why should they? Yeah, so AngryJoe, who has 3.29 million subscribers, making an angry rant video. Who fucking cares? I guarantee you that's what any corporate person would say. They probably won't even see it. They probably won't even know. But if they did, who fucking cares? And why do I say that? Look at the history of the hypocrisy of gamers when it comes to any controversy that we've ever taken issue with. Now, I have a video where I talk about my own hypocrisies, about microtransactions, DLC, and all that other crap, while also making videos complaining about it. All right? I will link it if anyone, for whatever reason, wants to watch it. So I don't want people to think that this is a video of me just deflating AngryJoe within of itself, because like AngryJoe, I have my own past hypocrisy and demons. The only difference is I finally pulled my head out of my ass, because I'm not going to maybe making excuses and hypocriticalness within of itself. I think that's the biggest problem in modern gaming today. You want to know why gaming is the way it is today? Just walk into a bathroom and look in a mirror, and you'll be looking at someone, because in one way, shape, or another, we have all contributed to microtransactions, which by irony, fun fact, an NFT at its core is a microtransaction. That's basically what it is. The only difference between what we see in gaming as a microtransaction or DLC is that, or a loot box and then an NFT, out of all those four, only 3 of them cannot be resold. That's the only difference when it comes to an NFT. The only difference. So why is it that we're sitting here complaining about a microtransaction that can be resold, but we still accept microtransactions? Because it's kind of funny that when people talk about the whales, they're the minority. Well, if they're the minority, why does Assassin's Creed full of microtransactions sell so well? That's because all of the people that complain about the microtransactions are just going to, I'm gonna buy the game, but I'm not gonna buy any of the microtransactions. That's how I'm gonna stick it to Ubisoft. And look at where we are today, because gamers were foolish enough to think that mentality is going to work. And here's something I want you to think about. Everything within gaming at one point or another used to be honestly cheaper than it was. There was a time that a skin, a costume, was $5, $6, maybe even $2 or $3 back in the PS3 360 era. Now there are games that release with alternate cosmetics that are $15 to $20 some dollars. There was a time gamers complained about that. Like I believe that's prevalent in Diablo 4. We've seen a few videos, but have gamers got angry enough to try to get them to reverse the price? No. And that's because they're not the only game that does it. And that is the hypocrisy of gamers. You want to know why gaming is so bad today? Go look in the fucking mirror. I'm the reason why. You're the reason why. Because in one way or another, we have made an excuse for microtransactions. My biggest hypocrisy was never purchasing a microtransaction, but I would use the pre-order bonus codes or the day one edition codes that came with certain games that I picked up. At its core, that's still a microtransaction. Whether I got it for free or not is ultimately irrelevant, because I either don't support microtransactions in general, or I make the excuse. And unfortunately, I made the excuse for microtransactions, just in a different way. The support of it in a different way. Told developers, I like this, this is good. And that's just an example of one of the things I talk about within my own videos. Another thing that we need to understand is that, all right, AngryJoe, you draw the line at NFTs, but what about that DRM that is still found in Mortal Kombat 11 for the single player campaign? Because he mentioned it in his review, but beyond that, it still exists. No gamer or gamers have ever got the Warner Brother Games or NetherRealms to reverse it. And yet when Electronic Arts released or was going to release the SimCity with DRM in it, oh, the shitstorm all the gamers gave Electronic Arts, and they reversed it. But yet here it is in Mortal Kombat 11. The reason why I bring this up is because everything starts within the minor details. They just add a little bit. You know, prices of microtransactions were soft, we could say, in the beginning. And slowly they've been rising up. When is it going to be that we accept a $100 alternate cosmetic? Because we're already around 15, 25. Some, I think there's even a few that are at like 30 or more. You want to say, where do we draw the line? I think the question is, why didn't we draw the fucking line? Because clearly we didn't. Because these companies know gamers. They probably have a fucking department analyzing all of what we would call the controversies of everything that we don't fucking like in gaming, to analyze, well, what is acceptable? What will they accept that will allow us to become more egregious? Like I was stating, there's still DRM in Mortal Kombat 11. All that is telling other developers is that, hey, if we put it in there softly, just a little bit, just a little bit, gamers will complain, but they'll accept it. Which ultimately leads to them eventually trying a little bit more. Electronic Arts going to release a SimCity game. Well, hey, they bitched about it, but there's DRM in Mortal Kombat 11, so Warner Brothers did something right. We're going to put it in there a little bit. People accept it. And then another time, here's another game from Electronic Arts. We're going to add a little bit more DRM. Before we know it, we'll be playing fucking single-player games that must be online all the time. Because people don't realize the domino effect. We become complacent to it. We become accepting of it. We vitriolize a company like Electronic Arts for doing it, and yet Warner Brothers, Ed Boon, NetherRealms, they get a pass for doing it. That is the hypocrisy of gamers. So why the fuck should Madden or EA Sports even give two fucking shits about what I think or what AngryJoe thinks, when objectively gamers have proven in the end they will sit down and shut the fuck up? We've done it time and time again. Like I said, there was a moment where gamers did not like microtransactions of any kind. Then we started making excuses for cosmetics. Then we started making excuses for cheaper priced microtransactions. Oh God. The biggest laughing stock in the gaming industry is fucking gamers. So I'm going to tell you something right now, Angry Joe. It's not about drawing the line at NFTs. We have to draw the line at everything that we apparently don't like about gaming. That means, guess what, Angry Joe? Don't review the next Madden game. Don't review the next FIFA game. Even if they don't put NFTs in it, you apparently don't like microtransactions, so don't fucking do it. Because gamers are either going to do what we've always said to do, speak with our wallet, and only let the whales buy the game, or we're just going to continue to get fucked in the ass. Because like I said, I guarantee you these companies have departments to research these kind of controversial subjects to see how much they can get away with. And they're learning at a very fast rate what they can get away with. Everything from DRM to microtransactions to loot boxes to NFTs, which is basically just another form of a microtransaction within of itself. Only difference is you can resell it. Why do we draw the line at something we can resell as opposed to something we can't even resell? That ultimately, in the long run, is going to be lost when the servers go down and there's just a bunch of incomplete Madden and FIFA games out there. When we give Nintendo flack because they don't like to preserve games, well, it's like, look in the fucking mirror, gamers. Here you are supporting a bunch of games that are objectively going to be broken years down the road when the servers go down. None of that DLC micro bullshit is going to be available for anyone to have access to, let alone all the day one updates to fix the broken ass games. Oh, gamers sure are a fucking laughing stock.